When it comes to technology, we store a lot of important personal information on our devices.
So the last thing we want, Mike, is for someone to steal all of that sensitive data. Do you know if your computer is protected?
Back to compute this, Thor Schrock of Schrock Innovations. Good to see you, Thor.
Good
Do
to
you
see
know
you
who
guys.
Cardi B is?
Who?
Cardi B?
No clue.
Okay.
See, same thing. I had the same reaction on Friday. I know.
It sounds like a dish at a restaurant. I'll have the Cardi B,
the
please.
Cardi B, please.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a rapper. She performed with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Listen,
Isn't that a candy bar?
It does sound like that too. It does sound like that. But we are talking about computers today, so I suppose we'll,
I
we'll
suppose
switch
we should
gears.
talk about that. What they were talking about? We're talking about Meltdown and Spectra. What are those two?
All right,
What
so
is that?
the whole intro was like, is your computer secure? Is your data safe? And we're all used to like, hey, you have to put antivirus on your computer. I remember like 15 years ago, we had to talk people into that. And then we get the calls on the radio show. It's a conspiracy, man. The virus companies make the viruses. So you have to buy their stuff. Just the stupid
Well, one
stuff
of them
like
is
that.
from Russia.
Well, Kaspersky, you can make the argument.
It's a Russian.
But the interesting thing about this is a vulnerability. It's not a virus. So Meltdown, you probably have heard about this in various times in the media over the last 2 weeks. This isn't new this week.
Okay.
But Meltdown was the first one that was discovered, and it was basically a vulnerability. There's a security loophole, an extra door, if you will, that no one knew about in every single Intel processor ever made.
Somebody had to know about this, right?
It was a design flaw.
Okay, so it wasn't like somebody built this door.
No, it
and
was a
never
total
told anybody.
design flaw, like a whoops, we didn't think. And what it allowed the attacker to do is see everything that's in high memory. Well, without getting too technical about what high memory is, if it shows up on your screen, it goes through high memory. If you type it on your keyboard, it goes through high memory. So pretty much everything a human would do with your computer goes through high memory. So if I can monitor your high memory, I can monitor your entire computer.
How long have the bad guys known about this back door? Or have they? Or did we find
That's the
did
thing. A
somebody-
security researcher found this, and he told Intel about it. Now you have to think. Now I'm trying to imagine the Intel boardroom, like frumph, and they're like, "We have a situation on our hands." When 6 months ago, this guy came to us and said, "There's a vulnerability in chips," and he gave us sample exploit code to show us how to replicate it.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's a hardware flaw. It's not software,
It's not programming,
hardware.
yeah.
So you
Okay.
can't change hardware that's already out there.
Yeah.
So every single Intel processor, now AMD is already
So you
kicking
can't
our
just come up
tail.
with a patch, right? and
No,
just
that's the
send it
problem.
out?
AMD is already killing us with their new chips, and we have nothing new to answer it. Now we're finding out that every chip we've ever made has a flaw. You got to be kidding me. So they didn't do anything. They didn't say anything.
Yeah. How
They
long
just
is that
sat on
going?
it, 6 months. The security researcher finally said, I gave you 6
Right,
months.
I'm gonna tell
I'm going to
somebody."
let it out if you don't go in a month. He gave him another month. They didn't do it. So he tweeted out the sample exploit code so that everyone on the planet would have it.
Yeah.
So is this all computers?
Well, at that point, it was every Intel computer.
Okay.
And
Which
so
is a
we
lot
were
of
doing
them,
the happy dance at Schrock because we
Yeah.
only sell AMD systems for the most
Right, so you
part.
wouldn't have to
we're
deal
like,
with it, right.
woo-hoo. And then Spectre came out. Spectre is very similar to Meltdown, same consequences, allows you to see everything in high memory, but it impacts all Intel processors and all AMD processors and all ARM processors.
So that's almost every computer out there, isn't it?
That's every phone. That's your iPhone X. That's
So
your
everybody
tablets.
basically has
That's every
this?
computing device. That's your Internet of Things thermostat. That's your. I'm trying to think about.
It's every
your
device.
Amazon
It's
Echo.
every device, yeah.
Your Amazon Echo listens to everything in your house, and then when it hears that, hey Alexa, then it triggers the internet part. So if it's listening to everything in your house, it's holding it in high memory. So that means if I can exploit that chip in your Amazon Alexa device, I can listen to everything that's happening in your house.
Okay, so now that
I
you
hate
scared
that. I
everybody
hate that
watching
stuff,
today,
yes.
what can you do about it?
Yeah, how can you protect yourself?
You can't.
You can't. So we're just all.
Yeah. So we had a
Okay.
debate at the shop. Should we like tell people about this? And like, if we have to, it's in the news. We have to talk about it. But
people- yeah.
so here's the thing. There's a Microsoft came out with a patch. The problem is the patch, because it's a hardware flaw, has to do super sketchy virus-like stuff to try to patch the computer. So every antivirus on the planet would have detected it as a virus, even though it was a legitimate patch. So Microsoft said, hey, antivirus companies of the world, we're going to put this patch out. Here's the patch. You can examine it. It's going to act like a virus.
So update your virus
Update your
protection
stuff, and
so
then
that
when
it
you
knows.
let us know when you're good to go. So, like if you have McAfee, you won't get the patch because they never. Ironically, McAfee's owned by Intel. They never updated the antivirus part of it. So basically, if you go through this whole thing, you get the Microsoft patch, you're partially protected. You really need a BIOS update. Now, again, technical stuff. That a BIOS is the basic input-output system. When you push the power button, your computer goes beep, or you see the Apple logo come on the screen and it does some stuff before it starts booting and shows you all your stuff. That's the BIOS. It says, hey, I have a hard drive, I'm a computer, I have memory, all this other stuff that is so technical we don't want to go into it. you need to update that program. It's in your phone, you call it the firmware. When you get a software update for your phone, that's a
Yeah.
firmware update. Same thing. That's the operating system basically for the hardware of the phone.
So when there's an update, make sure you do it.
Make sure you do it. The problem is
devices.
there's not going to be an update for every computer because all the major motherboard manufacturers are only going to update 3 generations back. So if your computer is more than 3 years old, it will never be
Ooh, I
secure.
think mine's at the mark now.
Yeah,
so.
is it true that when you do that update, it slows your phone down? Or
Oh,
it
yeah.
slows your device down?
It'll slow your device down quite a bit, up to 30%. So up to 30% a slowdown of everything going on with
For
the
every
computer.
update.
Well, no, for every program you launch, everything
sorry.
you open, like, it just slows
your
the whole
device,
computer
whether
down.
it's your
Yeah.
phone or your
You
computer.
can mitigate a lot of that with a solid state upgrade. You can upgrade to a solid state. It'll take a lot of that loss out of it. But here's the thing. So now, okay, we said at Schrock, let's make a utility. If you go to SchrockInnovations.com, you can go to the do-it-yourself section, and you can download something. It's the checker. It doesn't patch your computer. It just tells you if you're patched.
Yeah.
Now, some of the patches are causing random reboots on the computers. So
That's a whole nother segment.
That's a whole nother
That's a whole
problem.
nother segment,
Yeah.
Thor.
So it's a really, really weird situation, but you can download that tool. It's also on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, and check and see if you're secure.
SchrockInnovations.com, that's the website you can go to. Thor, thanks.
So much, my mind's just like.
Yeah, thanks for the happy Monday
Yeah,
information.
Hey,
thank
you
you
know,
so much.
that's what I'm here for. Do I get a little man?
You get a little.
You
You get
do,
a
you
statue.
get-
She called it a statue. You get a statue.
Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
We'll be right back after this. There you go.